announced that he was going to repeat the exact same promise that Justin Trudeau made in 2015 on budgets. Get this. In 2015, Justin Trudeau said, and I quote, he will run 3 small deficits, tiny deficits. Remember that? And that would fund the largest infrastructure investment in Canadian history to help the middle class and grow the economy. What has been the result?
Hey, and welcome to today, where I want to just go over a little bit of something that I am finding quite humorous to see unfold in real time. Now, sorry, when I say in real time, I mean what I am seeing at the current time. A lot of these things are like a couple days old at this rate, but I'm seeing them for the first time, and so current day time is what I'm gonna say. Like, for example, when Mark Carney goes out of his way to talk about our economy, which is quite funny as knowing that he is the last person who we need to be talking about trying to improve anything in terms of economy, because, you know, he did that very well with the Bank of England. Totally, yeah, it's not at all sarcasm with that. But now he has moved on, and he is now talking about Canada. Obviously, seeing as he hopefully tries to become the leader of the Liberal Party, but he is talking about growing our economy. He's talking about the problems of the economy, and, you know, let's just take a quick look at this video of him talking about that stuff.
It's clear that the federal government is spending too much. Spending growth has been 9% on average over the course of the last decade. And the federal workforce has grown by over 40% since 2015. And the government has missed many of its spending targets.
Doge.
At the same time, Canada as a whole is investing too little. So if I'm elected Liberal leader, my government's fiscal policy will focus first on reining in government spending. So as a result, we will balance the operational budget within 3 years. Think of a small business that has to pay operating expenses like salaries, office supplies through their revenues. But then they borrow to invest in machinery and equipment to grow that business. Or think of a household that has to pay for heat and electricity, but takes out a mortgage to buy a new home. This is the time to build an even better Canada, with major investments including millions of homes over the next decade, expanding and modernizing our energy infrastructure so that we are less dependent on foreign suppliers and the United States as a customer.
Remember literally the last video I made going over him, he spoke in English talking about improving our economy, and then in French talked about not making the provinces go along with pipelines. Which one is it? Is it boosting the economy, or are we not boosting the economy? He's lying. It's all he's doing. He's just lying and lying and lying, and nothing of substance.
Becoming a clean energy superpower and diversifying our trading partners away from the United States.
I'm sorry. Wait. I listened to this video. This did not pique my brain.
Becoming a clean energy superpower.
Clean energy superpower. What does that even mean? What is... I'm sorry. What does that even mean, to be a clean energy superpower? What does that even mean? What does it even mean to be a clean energy superpower when every clean energy foundation comes from oil? What? Huh? Absolutely no common sense with him. Absolutely nothing of any sort of that. Now, to change topics, to stop talking about that annoyance, we have ourselves a pleb reporter coming to us with good news, which is statistics, and talking about how the Liberals are back at 27%. And talking about how the Mark Carney honeymoon is finally over. I don't even know how there was a honeymoon to even begin with in terms of statistics, but I guess we're back to where we were originally, so that's good. But I bring up this for a reason. Why do I bring this up, you may ask? Well, it's kind of odd how very recently CTV News just look at this, okay? CTV News comes out. I'm not gonna go through the whole entire article because not really poignant to what I want to bring out here. They say, new poll says 27% of Canadians view the United States as an enemy country. Kind of odd as to how 27% of Canadians view the US as an enemy, and the statistics show 27% of people are polled as being with Liberals. Kind of odd how those things just appear to be similar. They're like, we got 27% here, 27% here. Surely there's no connection between those two figures, right? Surely not. Now, the thing I wanted to point out that I thought was quite, hilarious, funny, maybe not, just a little bit humorous is the word I shall use here, is how CTV News comes out and says this whole entire thing, and the link is from ctvnews.ca, so it comes from them, and then, actually, I didn't check out the time, but this was posted on February 20th at 5:45 a.m. And from Toronto Star, they came out with an article as well. It is, the link is from thestar.com, so it is from them. A new poll suggests that more than a quarter of Canadians, 27%, now see the US as an enemy country, while another 30% still say they consider the US as an ally. This came out on the 21st at 9:29. I'm just a little bit humorous as to how you got, let's just look back at this. You got the Toronto Star saying 27% of Canadians. You got the CTV News saying 27% of Canadians. And then for some reason in the polling stats, you got 27% of Canadians. These are absolutely, most notably, not at all connected in some way, right? Certainly not. But overall, good news in showing that people are once again waking up that the honeymoon stage is over and people are returning back to common sense and realizing that Carney is just the exact same. I don't know how there was a honeymoon to begin with, but I'm glad that it is over finally and that we are back to where it was originally. Strange once again how the 27% number just seems to stick around. Also funny as to how there's more people who think that the US is an ally than there are than those who think that they're an enemy. Just a little bit funny how clearly the propaganda is not working. Now, to get into the main subject of today, which is Pierre calling out Mark Carney and his entire silly plans, as silly ideas, as silly leadership that it would be. Let's take a look at that.
Carney became economic advisor to Justin Trudeau. How's it been going? Apparently, Mr. Trudeau's been following his advice, but it goes the other way too. Yesterday, Carbon Tax Carney announced that he was going to repeat the exact same promise that Justin Trudeau made in 2015 on budgets. Get this. In 2015, Justin Trudeau said, and I quote, he will run 3 small deficits, tiny deficits. Remember that? And that would fund the largest infrastructure investment in Canadian history to help the middle class and grow the economy. What? has been the result? Well, those 3 deficits turned into 9 deficits. $25 billion of new debt turned into $700 billion of new debt. The debt, in fact, doubled in that time. And the middle class, 80% of them are paying more income taxes. None of them can afford a home. And we've had the worst economic growth in the G7. That is the result of the promise that Trudeau made 10 years ago. And now Mark Carney is promising 3 small deficits, which he says will somehow cause economic growth and help the middle class. My friends, this is déjà vu all over again. Carney has the same advisors, the same MPs, the same ministers, and making the same liberal promises that Trudeau made a decade ago. But he expects Canadians to be duped for a 4th time.
All right. Well, that is, once again, the lambasting is beautiful to watch unfold as I watch. It is beautiful to bring up historical facts, historical things against people who say the exact same thing, follow the exact same leadership, plan to go the exact same way. Mark Carney is going to be nothing but worse than Trudeau, because it is blatantly obvious as to who Trudeau was listening to and following and taking his orders from, and now we just got the head of the snake coming over here to try and take over and take reign. He's gonna be nothing but worse. Worse in the fact that he is now trying to claim that we're going to be a green energy superpower. What does that mean other than a bunch of lies? Because that literally can't exist. Unless, you get your manufacturing from certain countries that don't care about being green energy or not. That would be the only feasible way that you could be possibly green energy. It's a bunch of hoopla, bunch of nothing. And he's speaking it so eloquently. There might be a quote in the Bible about a specific someone who speaks so eloquently about lies, but hey, I won't make that claim. Just gonna point it out, Now there's just one more video I want to take cover of, and then we'll head off after that. But it is quite fascinating to watch Pierre break down everything that Carney says and does, and I just want you guys to enjoy it as well.
And the Liberals have broken everything. They broke our housing market by doubling housing costs. They broke in the household budgets by raising carbon taxes and income taxes, with twice as many people lined up at food banks as there were before the Trudeau-Carney Liberals. They've broken our criminal justice system with catch and release that has allowed to rampage through our streets, having doubled. They've broken families with the crisis that they unleashed by legalizing hard and leaving our borders open. We have more people after a decade of the Liberals than fighting for Canada in the Second World War. So they broke a lot of things, and it is patriotic to point out what is broken so that you can fix it. I mean, Liberals they're trying to gaslight Canadians into saying, if you point out any of the problems that they caused after 10 years in power, you're unpatriotic. I'm sorry, it doesn't work that way. Patriotism is about having an honest conversation about the enormous damage the Liberals did to this country. And by the way, I won't take any lessons on patriotism from Mark Carney, who took jobs and money out of Canada to put them in the States, in China, and in the Middle East. I won't take any lessons from the Liberals on patriotism after they have been lowering our flag and putting down our history for the last 10 years. Conservatives will put Canada first, and that means fixing what Liberals broke.
He said it utterly beautiful. Now, that is once again where I'm going to leave this off, and so I want you guys to tell me what you're thinking down below. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all those things, but yeah, anywho, I hope to see you in the next video, but until then, I hope that you have a good one.